1970 Volkswagen Convertible, restoration number 2. Clip 7, refurbishing under the gas tank area. Clean the horn terminal and connection location with sandpaper or a wire brush. Connect the horn wire and the bolt to the steering column.
I drank my Huck juice first.
What's in the Huck juice?
You'll be surprised. Turned it all the way around by myself. And a little elbow grease. Don't let it go out the garage door.
If you're going out the garage door, you might want to open the garage door. He's gotten so strong since he retired.
You always tell me not to park too close to you. I turned the car around where I could have the front end kind of pointing out of the garage, where when I got underneath the gas tank area, I wouldn't get too much in the garage. And I put my car there to keep it from rolling down the long hill.
Remember, I had wire brushed this area earlier. Spray on the gunk and wait 10 to 15 minutes. And wash it off with a water hose. Be careful and don't get any water on the electrical wiring area. Then dry the area off with a blower. About 2 more hours of work. I painted the firewall with Eastwood rust encapsulated paint. I know the rust will win in the long haul, but I'm sure doing everything I can to slow it down. About 2 more hours of work for the day. Knock off. I removed the brake fluid reservoir and sanded the brake fluid reservoir bracket. Then I painted the bracket with Eastwood rust encapsulator paint. The next day I put a second coat. I cleaned up the brake fluid reservoir and brake lines. Then I sprayed a layer of undercoating on the firewall. About 4 more hours of work. I decided to replace the brake master cylinder while I was here, so I disconnected the brake line to the master cylinder and the stoplight wires, and then removed the 2 bolts with a 13mm socket from inside the car. Then from the front of the firewall side, I lifted the brake master cylinder out. I removed the 2 stoplight switches from the old master cylinder, and then installed both brake light switches to the new master cylinder. Then the new unit was set in place in the front of the firewall. The 2 bolts were installed with a 13mm socket from inside the car. I connected the metal brake line with an 11mm socket and installed the stoplight switches. Connected the brake line from the reservoir with new rubber hoses and clamps, and filled the reservoir with brake fluid. The master cylinder is installed, new brake line with rubber hoses and clamps. The reservoir is filled. We'll bleed the brakes when the pedal cluster is installed. Got the tank back in, but I will come back to this area when I refinish the trunk area as discussed earlier. About 5 hours of work. Total about 85 hours of work to date. Stay tuned for progress reports.